That's a different angle than normal.
Bang. That's a goated angle right there. All right, what's going on, guys? It is Wednesday, my dudes. Fucking last time we spoke, it was Monday of the third week of March. We pretty much said, look, we're going through this new kind of phase transition of this season, similarly to what we did last season. And we have about 10 days until we enter the second quartile of the year and of this season, or whatever we're kind of calling the series, right? So basically what we are looking at is how are we going to close out the second half of the series. And I just rewatched the last episode, and I believe I did a pretty good job outlining the tentative plan and ideal goals. Since then, and I should mention too, this is another repeated pattern that we've done in the past. Once we lay out the plan like we just did, there seems to be a realization that there's a lot more work and doing involved than simply just talking about it. And it kinda is always the beginning signal and that first barrier of breaking what I would say what most people don't break, and that is the do phase. Everyone wants to be in the research phase, everyone wants to be in the planning phase, but put simply, the amount of volume that you can do that directly applies to your success is going to be the best way to be successful. So as we're falling into our systems correctly, it is giving us the ability to work on that specific load volume work that is required because we've created a safe environment to do it in. Now, there is some argument to how much routine habits and what you want to call it, but obviously you see the $1 million morning routines and you say, oh, that's what you need to work. Sometimes, yes, if that gives you a higher percent chance of getting the work done, you should do it. But I also believe that it is not necessary, but it can ease the mind. For example, a lot of my deep work has ADHD music in the background, caffeine, a workout before to ease my nerves, and hydration supplementation and a good night's rest. Does that mean you need it to work? No, but I do think that is part of the prep work that gets you into these deep slots. It's almost like relearning to dribble a basketball or shoot a basketball or doing any sort of skill-based game or sport. You regress when you don't refine your skills, and we are in a period of refinement. Now, luckily, based off of the output we've been recently achieving without the refining of our skills and I don't know what to call it, the consistency of our routines to maximize work, it should look like doing more should result in more. Now, how marginally effective that is, that's the hard part, is when you're adding more output that doesn't come naturally, as similarly to what I believe I said in the last video about what was it? I can't think of it now, but it's something about like if I was doing these numbers in my sleep. This might be 2 episodes ago, I believe. If I'm doing these numbers in my sleep, then I need to wake up, and that's kind of the thought process. Is if you're not growing, other people are growing, and by definition, you're getting worse proportionately, which means that's the same trend as shrinking. So, yeah. Lot of realization coming into this final quarter. The big thought process for these next 7 days now, but on day 3 of 10 of kind of the initial prep, if we're just gonna put names and meanings on times and months and all that, just to feel a little better. It's giving ourselves that day 0, that prep time, that reception time, that trial time, to kind of expect a failure, which I've been really, really vocal about. Now, is that a limiting belief for me? We may need to shrink that as the more we go, but it's a pattern I've recognized. It takes consistency to build something, and I don't think that's a crazy statement to say. With that being said, there's a lot of changes I've made in my day-to-day life, my actions, and my roles, tasks, to realign with making sure the priority is getting sales. As a small entrepreneur or small business owner and entrepreneur, typically until you have the desired revenue that you want to hit consistently, you're always going to be overkilling marketing and sales, and very rarely ever are you going to say, okay, this is enough, we just really need to fucking expand operations a whole lot more. Typically it's like, no, you need to press that dial on sales just a little more. So yeah, as for sales, it's getting leads and converting them in every way possible. Everything's a lead, everything's a close, not being super confined, understanding like, hey, if there's an itch somewhere, itch it, okay? If there is a sign, go check it, go test it, go see if there is something there that will yield. And that's pretty much the best way I would put it. Other than that, on the operational side, I think really operations and sales, I've noticed, kind of work hand in hand. When operations is breaking from like under fulfillment, right? Sales tends to want to shrink. And then when sales is underperforming, like vice versa almost, right? When that one's underperforming, that one wants to shrink. So it really is a balance of getting order, money, jobs, time, energy in the door, getting, the vice versa to do the transaction. And that's really what you're doing as an entrepreneur, is you're putting, you're value swapping. That's what you're doing. You're hey, you need this, well, look, we have this, right? And you're doing the swap. That's how you're producing your value. Swapping. You're a tradesman, basically. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. All I got for this Wednesday midpoint episode. Probably maybe be good to do these every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Every day is kind of overkill. Again, I like speaking in front of the camera just to communicate. I don't think it's a horrible idea. It goes towards one of my goals of content creation. Improves relationships with myself, with Jesus, with my colleagues. I do believe it helps with God, helps with mental health for sure. And it does attribute to my goals. A little bit of business and career, right? If I can expand and improve on this. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll keep this one short. I guess just current to keep y'all up to date, just final update. Yeah, we got our crew going out on routes. We have a tentative schedule for today that should fulfill 4 jobs. Decent cash flow, but nothing crazy, I would say, for the amount of work, honestly. We're still kind of building that out. And then the goal today really on my back end admin, marketing, and like head ops kind of position is really just scheduling the rest of the week. So that's how we're doing it. You know, right now, known money is, or some money is better than no money. So we might take jobs at cost where there's not really a lot of profit. We're just, you know, covering the bills, but that's kind of what you got to do to start, because you got to pay the bills to keep going. So yeah, we're looking pretty good. Really for me, it's just going to be turning up that sales volume, creating the sales machine. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. I had a funny fucking name I was going to use for the video, but I can't remember it now. It was like Dude Dialed or some shit like that, but like I can't even remember now. So it's probably time for me to lock in. And that probably means it wasn't that good. So hope you guys have a great day. Yeah, peace, stay safe, stay blessed.